Hey, I'm Andy. We're back with another Squim Gym reaction, and we're going to continue the TF2 versus TFC series. And this is at the time of this recording, the penultimate video in the playlist. So, yeah, this one is comparing Well, the map. I don't remember much about Well, and even the TF2 one, that's if I remember right, that's the one with the trains, and you can get killed by the trains. In TFC, I remember there being like a waterway instead of trains, and then there's like some spots in the center area that was like prime spot for sniping. But yeah, let's just see what changed, what stayed the same, and who wins. I guess Well wins. Music.
Hey look, I got the original Quake Team Fortress running. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I just got it running on my brand new setup over here. It's actually kind of hard to work with, and there's surprisingly not a whole lot of good information out there on it. I do have to admit that I don't know the ins and outs of this mod from almost 30 years ago, but hey, there's some possibilities here. I think it'd be cool to work more with Quake Team Fortress in these types of videos. But did you know there were never actually any official maps for the original Team Fortress? I guess since it was a mod, none of it was ever really official. But even so, there were some popular custom maps to the mod, like the original 2 Fort, or one called Well 6.
Well,
unfortunately,
6.
I'm not really sure at the moment how to actually run these custom maps in this version of Team Fortress. Though we can see from pictures, as well as some gameplay on YouTube, that the Team Fortress Classic remake of Well is a very faithful recreation. But how did this map fare when it came to the third Team Fortress game? Team Fortress 2? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna find out after the sponsor.
Ooh.
That's right, it's Wanted. Wanted Dead.
What?
A game created by the makers of Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive. But this time, Alive isn't an option. Wanted Dead is a hack and slash set in a cyberpunk world. A hack and slash with guns. Which can lead to some pretty rad kills with over 50 unique finishing animations. Based on the ancient classics of yesteryear, the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era, this game...
Well, didn't, I'm trying to remember where I've heard this from. Did Internet Historian did an explain video about this? Or was it like for a different... I swear I've heard this game before, I just don't know anything about it.
offers a concise, challenging single-player adventure, and it's continuously being improved with patches. In fact, it just got a patch with a skill tree rework, weapon rebalancing, new bullet time, melee combat improvements, and a ton of other stuff.
Like, you must have been
Wanted Dead is available on Xbox,
video,
Epic Games, Steam, and PlayStation, and there's also a spring sale going on right now where you could get Wanted Dead for 50% off on Steam and on Xbox. So what are you waiting for? You can use the link in the description to check it out right now.
Just a different game.
Well.
Hey.
And also Well. Another Well. Okay, there's a lot of versions of the map Well. The Quick TF...
Wait, there's a multiple versions of the TF2 Well? What? When was this?
F and TFC versions were Capture the Flag, but the first version of Team Fortress 2's Well was 5 Control Point, which was one of the original 6 maps released with the game. However, the Capture the Flag version of TF2's Well was released a few months later in January.
Oh, okay. One was, yeah, like you said, Capture the Flag and versus the Capture Point version.
2008. It was actually the first new map added to the game. And I'll put new in quotes here because CTF Well is obviously just a modified version of Capture Point Well, as was Arena Well, which is added only a couple months after that.
Arena?
But it's probably not much of a surprise that TF2's CTF Well is the closest parallel to the original thing.
This seems so familiar too. But yeah, like I said, I don't remember much, but it just seems familiar.
Though all of the versions actually vary quite a bit thematically. The original is kind of castle-esque, where the TFC version has like neon toxic wastewater or something and a very industrial look. And then the TF2 version is a train yard, and it's the only one of the 3 with trains or any kind of moving object in the center of the map.
Also, wasn't there like a thing where the demo had the ability to break something in the map, if that makes any sense?
And come to think of it, I'm not really sure why any of these are called Well. They all have water, so that's something. But as soon as you leave spawn, it should become very clear that the layouts of these maps are extremely similar. You have one spawn room right across from another, with 2 ramps in between them leading to a higher area. However, the TFC version does only have 1 entrance to the flag here, as opposed to 2 in TF2. Then going up one of these ramps leads you to a balcony area, very reminiscent of the one in the sequel. But instead of a ramp going to the 3rd floor, there's an elevator. And TFC really likes its elevators, but those just aren't a thing in TF2 for whatever
I remember
reason.
that area
The third
too.
floor has
Like, I remember like putting sentries in here just so it could just like shoot down.
supplies, just like in TF2, but instead has another elevator to the
Oh yeah, because also like when you build here, you also have these respawning ammo packs. So yeah, that's our supply pack, so you can actually just farm it as well.
reason. The third floor has resupplies, just like in TF2, but instead has another elevator to the flag room. And the flag room is almost completely different, so we'll get back to that a bit later. You'll notice that the exit to the main area is different as well, having only one gated door as opposed to TF2's two. And there's also no access to the water from here like there is in TF2. But outside, things do start to look familiar again, with a building in the center of the map separating both sides, and some water with a bridge over it.
I think there's a reason why you chose the demo. Like I said earlier, there's like something you can explode or break down with the demo in this map. I just don't remember where.
But yet again, the TFC version only has one bridge, where
I'm pretty
TF2
sure,
has
right?
two. So TF2 is really making use of its name here.
Hey.
Oh, and if you want to get back inside your base, or the enemy base, you can't just walk up to this door. You either have to touch this button, or shoot it to open it. Which I think is interesting. If you want to get in, you better ring the doorbell. But once you get to that center building, you'll find two very narrow hallways. Each side of this area also has access to the sewers, which you don't see in TF2. At least not in Capture the Flag well. But when you get out of the water, you'll also find that the left side of the base has a ladder that'll bring you past the indoor
Snipers.
balcony to this roof area, which has a complete
Very
view
risky.
of the whole center of the map.
It's very risky.
Which is pretty easy to see why it wasn't brought over to TF2. But as you'd expect, the enemy side of the base just mirrors yours. So back to the flag zone. While they do vaguely have the same layout, with the flag being raised up in the center and a bottom and top floor path, they are overall pretty different.
Yeah.
The TFC version has a bridge with more sewers to the side, and taking the right one will bring you to the enemy spawn. Yeah, you could just go in there. A turret on the ceiling will gun you down, but you could do it, there's nothing stopping you. And then taking the left tunnel will bring you to a dead end where a grate will block your path. That is, unless you're playing Demo Man. You
Hey.
can use his special det pack to blow it open. So you just place that down and dramatically underestimate the size of the explosion, and kablamo! You're dead. But also the gate's open. And as far as I'm aware, it just stays open for the rest of the game. After that, you'll be able to access the flag area through the sewers from the outside of the base. And, I mean, that's kinda cool, I guess, but doesn't it ultimately feel pretty pointless? Like, I imagine at some point early on in the game, a Demo Man's probably gonna blow it open, so why not have it open to begin with? But once you're there, you can take one of these two elevators to access the flag at the top of the tower, and then you can press this button to open the gate and make a quick escape out the front. But just like with TFC's 2 fort, you don't bring the flag back to your flag, but instead to a special capture area. This time, the capture area is the silo below the flag. And you can also enter your enemy's capture area too, which is kind of funny. You can just be waiting in there for them to come back.
Hey.
And, oh yeah, one thing is that in the 2 fort video, I said that both flags returned after 60 seconds when they're dropped, because that's what the wiki says. But in TFC, it actually takes 65 seconds.
Huh.
Doing these types of videos, I've come to notice that a lot of information about TFC on the wiki is kind of dubious. So I wouldn't always take it at face value.
I wonder why. Like, is the TFC version on Steam different from the OG version? Or like, is that where they're getting the information from? Or because I feel like it shouldn't be that much of a difference, and it should be it should be like stuff like this shouldn't be dubious on the wiki, right? Because it's so easily researched. So I don't know. I haven't really checked the TFC wiki. So
But hey, that's all well and good. Oh, and which well is the better well? I mean, you know, it's the TF2 one, and you would hope it would be. They're both very simple maps overall, but oddly enough, the TF2 one is simpler, and I think that works
Yeah.
to its favor.
I remember playing it. I just don't remember playing it much. And I don't remember like the map at all, except for like in the TF2 with the trains. But yeah, I do remember playing it. I mean, I was bound to play it eventually because I have so many hours in this game. But
There's less sewers, there's no elevators in the capture area, there's no
I think
path that only
elevators are
Delman
neat.
can blow up, there's no doors you need to press a button to open, and hey, they had a lot more time to figure out what works and what doesn't, and what's needed and what's not. But of course, I can see why this would have been one of the more popular maps in Quake Team Fortress, and it's easy to see why it transitioned to TF2 pretty well. Oh, funny, it's funny every time. But of the 4 maps brought over from TFC to TF2, there is one so different that I feel like I can't justify making a standalone comparison video because there's very little to compare. So I'll add it as a bonus to this one.
Ooh.
The Badlands we know in TF2 is basically completely different from the one in TFC.
Oh.
The TFC one is Capture the Flag, where the TF2 one is 5 CP with an arena and King of the Hill variant. And the TFC version is basically like a giant canyon with multiple levels and a lot of thin ledges. I do think it looks kind of cool for what it is, but this definitely would not have worked in a...
Like, I think like there was like a little overlook in the middle that's like the mirror point, right? It's like a hill going up and then a hill going down, and the peak is like the mirror point. I also remember this map, but I know, like I said, it's been so long, and that this map was pretty massive from what I can remember. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like if I were able to like install TFC again and go through, I probably would remember things. But yeah, this, like I said, I mainly played conch maps. I would remember more with those maps, and maybe some sniper maps, which are like basically the stock maps just without the center bits, like 2 for sniper. But yeah, this seems very familiar.
Game like TF2. Especially without grenade jumping,
my
for
memory's
most classes,
terrible,
if you fell into the pit, you'd just have to find a ladder to get back out. And speaking of grenade jumping, you can't actually get on top of any of these rocks. You'll just hit your head on the sky. And yes, this middle area does have a bridge, kind of like TF2's Badlands, though it does go the other direction and is much smaller, and really only has a passing resemblance, if that. But there are a lot of spires in this Badlands, somewhat like the second capture point in the TF2 one, though in TFC, they're basically just obstacles to block out parts of the map. Though if you do get stuck at the bottom of the canyon, there are these little tunnels to enter the base, and you'll come to a lot of tight corridors where you can find the flag.
I remember this. I remember, like, I believe they would put the sentries here, I think.
There are these little tunnels to enter the base.
Like, I'm trying to remember what I would do. Maybe up here. I don't know. Like I said, I remember playing it, but I don't, like, my memory sucks.
Corridors where you can find the flag and spawn, as well as 2 sniper perches. But this right here is the part of the map that TF2 Badlands clearly draws the most inspiration from. It might be the only part. There's an entrance in the front, as well as one on the side, and a balcony area that leads into the base. So it's kind of close, at least they have one thing in common. But overall, though, this Badlands has very little to do with the sequel version. And despite liking the aesthetic, I don't really like the TFC version all too much. It's
because they basically made it simplified and more, I mean, streamlined and simplified. I guess that's the same thing. But yeah, I feel like it's so easy. It's a lot more easier to get lost in the TFC version compared to the TF2 version.
Kind of a mess. But what I do like is the original concept art for the CTF version of TF2 Badlands from 2006. You can tell that's still trying to keep that canyon-esque design from the first version, with these deep valleys between buildings and the rocks. It's very cool-looking concept art. It's always fun to see what could have been, but I like the Badlands we have now. I think the changes they made were for the best. Now, if only we could finally get good lands. Alright, I promise next time...
I feel like what could have been as well, like, I remember, this was like early on in the TF2 development, that they were teasing a more, like a game more in line with TFC in terms of the aesthetics. Like, none of these cartoony characters from what I can remember. But, like, I feel that was like way early on. Like, I think they like showed artwork of it, I think, but yeah.
We will get Spy vs. Spy for TFC versus TF2. That's gonna be next. It's coming. Eventually. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, and a special thanks to my patrons like Varric, Captain Forex, Eggox, Colonel, Probably Vinegar, Capone.
Yeah, I think this on the playlist, Spy vs. Spy is the last one, so that will be another series completed for now. I don't know if he's gonna add more, but yeah.
Kelso the Pirate, Pillsman's Fox, Some Crazy Idiot, Ozond, She-Shells, Salt God, Lavi, Taupe, Time Consuming, Man344, Nolan46, and Melodici. And, peace out, dogs.
Alright. Is there any more at the end? Just that? Okay. Yeah, that was TFC versus TF2 Wells. And like, I didn't really. I mean, I guess there was two versions in TF2, or I guess maybe three, but I guess in my mind I counted the capture point and the capture the flag variants as the same because they're essentially the same, I think. Like I don't know what's the difference other than like removing the capture points and putting in the flags and stuff like that, but yeah, like I'm trying to remember in TFC because I remember sniping that map and dying a lot. But yeah, it's just a big blur back. It's been so long. Like honestly, it's been so long, and even like it's longer than TF2, and I can barely remember stuff from TF2 too. And I have what hundreds and hundreds of hours in that game. So yeah, it is what it is. But I wonder. Like I'll probably check on my own time, but if there's someone like reviewing conch maps in TFC, then I'll definitely watch that. But I'm just going through all the recommendations first and foremost. So, yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, thank you for watching and have a nice day.